So we've got the brain, limbic system is the area we're going to be focusing on, hypothalamus, pituitary axis, adrenal glands that sit on top of the kidneys, and adrenal glands are obviously responsible for secreting adrenaline and other stress-related hormones, right? Now, when we look at the limbic brain is responsible for emotional response, in particular survival. So we're talking about fight, flight, or freeze, all right? The other two parts of the brain that we're going to be talking about, okay, it's going to get a little bit sciencey, but you don't need to know this. It's just going to set you up so that when we start to explain what happens to your body, it's going to make a little bit more sense. Okay, we have the hippocampus. The hippocampus is responsible for forming memories, for cataloging memories, and storing memories. So the type of memory that you have or the type of incident that you have dictates how big that memory is and where it actually gets stored. It's also responsible for assigning senses to memories. So who's ever smelt something and it's automatically reminded them of home? Or you've seen something and it's reminded you of an event in your past, okay? Any of your 5 senses get activated and it can trigger a memory response. That's hippocampus. The amygdala is responsible for emotional attachment. So when you think about the passing of a loved one, you get sad. Even though it's a memory and you're not in that moment, you still have an emotional response to that thing courtesy of the amygdala. Now, when we look at stress, stress is actually an important part of our lives. But the problem is that now we live in a society where stress is ubiquitous. It surrounds us everywhere. If we go back sort of a couple of thousand years, the purpose of stress was survival. The only thing our ancestors had to worry about was food, water, shelter, and not fucking getting eaten, all right? Everything outside of that was pretty gravy. So with the stress response, what would happen is they would come across a stressful event, saber-toothed tiger, whatever the case may be. The limbic system would be activated, okay? Send messages via the HPA to secrete the appropriate hormones, and that creates a fight, flight, or freeze response to handle the situation. Once it's over, those stress levels go back down and they go back to kicking around and doing whatever it is ancestral people did. Nowadays, stress is everywhere. We wake up in the morning and you get that feeling in the pit of your stomach knowing that you've got to go to work or go to a job that you hate. You sit in traffic grinding your teeth and getting pissed at everybody who cuts you off. You get to a job that you hate and you spend all day counting down the clock till you can go home, dealing with a boss that you dislike or assholes around you that you fucking can't stand being around. You're constantly in a state of stress. You get home and you think about the day that you've just had and how shit your day was. What this means is you wake up in the morning, you think about how stressful your day is going to be. Straight away, the limbic system kicks in, okay, and you start secreting stress hormones. You're not even in a stressful environment, but you're already secreting stress hormones. You're sitting in traffic, waiting to get to work. Limbic brain kicks in, recognizes stress, starts secreting stress hormones. You get to work, you're dealing with an asshole boss, dealing with dickheads that you don't want to be around, okay? Limbic brain kicks in, starts to secrete stress hormones. The end result is that instead of having a short spurt of stress hormones like cortisol, adrenaline, epinephrine, and norepinephrine, you're continually getting it seeping throughout the day, and it means that even when you are not in a stressful situation, your body and mind are still in a stressful fucking state. Does that make sense? How many people can relate to that instantly, waking up and feeling stressed even though you haven't even made it out of bed yet?